I've been trying to get out in my garden to show you guys. I've had just a whole plethora of things come up all at one time. Isn't that the way it always is? It's, you know, when it rains, it pours, and they're all good things. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the garden that I really wanted to show for all of you that have been following it. And so I'm just going to really go quickly through it and then show you what I've been up to. So we're going to start here at the tomatoes, and they're over my head now. They're way up there. I would say, well, they're a foot off the ground. So I would say they're probably about maybe 5 feet tall if they were sitting on the ground. And look at how giant these ones have gotten. They still got green freckles on them, but one is starting to blush here, down under here. These are the red beefsteaks, and they are getting pretty big. Then here is another red beefsteak, and it's blushing. Everything I've gotten tomatoes off of so far. This is one of the early girl, I think. Yeah, I've gotten some good tomatoes off of this one. This one has had some blossom end rot. This one doesn't, but I've gotten some blossom end rot off of these, and I think I've taken care of it because I'm not seeing much now, but I put a bunch of calcium in there and in the way of fertilizer that had high calcium, so maybe that's what took care of it, because I don't know. But anyways, the deer have been coming and eating my tomatoes, so I set this one down here so that maybe they would eat this one instead of all those really big beauties. Now this one is the Cherokee Purple. Look at how beautiful that tomato is. Oh my goodness. They got split because I must have done too much watering at one time. I do uneven watering because I don't have it just come on at the same time every day. My drip system that's down in here hasn't been dripping well because we have irrigation. It's muddy. So I've been watering by hand, and that's not always a good thing for me because I'm not real accurate about that. And here's the Cherokee Carbon, and let me tell you, I got tomatoes off of this bush. I've already eaten some. There's a spidey web. And they are the best tomatoes, tasting tomatoes. Look at those beauties. They are gorgeous. They're big. They have green shoulders, and then they have a real purpley kind of color to the body, but they also have inside their meat is really dark purple. It's really gorgeous. And we got the Roma there that I didn't think I was going to get anything off of. You can see that the chickens pecked a couple of those. They got out the other day and went through my garden. These are the Mammoth, Goliath, not Mammoth. And these are getting really, really big. But they just now started showing some color. And the deer came through and ate my prize-sized one. So, c'est la vie. Anyways. And then that's the Bonnie Original. And it's got some good-sized ones on too. Just starting to blush. I'll probably put up some tomatoes in the next week or so when all of these start to ripen. They're doing pretty good, and I'm eating just as much as we are picking right now. But then you know how it is. Harvest will come all at one time, just like when it rains, it pours. This bush, which is my Blue Hubbard, it's winding down, and it has infestation of squash bugs all over it. There's a spaghetti squash in there too, but look at the prize Hubbard squash. Here's my hand. It is giant. I don't even know how we're gonna eat that. If you have any suggestions, I've never cooked one before. I've cooked acorn squash, so if it's like that, then it's just a giant acorn squash. I've still got a bunch of spaghetti squashes that are coming on. They're all over the place. They're the ones that poured out and over. They don't stay in their place that I give them. The cucumbers are winding down. I've still got a few littles on here. There's a big one. Uh-oh. That one kind of got over. I didn't see that one. But I'm losing the leaves. That one's pretty big. So I'm guessing that it's winding down. And then I have my my poor little eggplant has gotten just overwhelmed in there. It's just a poor place to plant it. Live and learn. This cucumber, I'm not using it for anything. I don't really like these cucumbers, so I have dried some of them and put them, you know, and the kids are eating them. Kind of. I don't like them personally. That's just they kind of taste bitter. But we can find something to do with them. Take the skin off. If you take the skin off, they're not too bad. But I won't grow them again. It's just my thing, not my thing. Let's see. Let's keep moving down. So if you can see, the Tabascos are getting ready as well. And everything gets ready at one time. So they're starting to start to turn orange now. I'm getting orange ones down in there. And they'll take another week or so to turn completely orange. The Poblanos are pretty much ready to pick. So I need to get those done today. I was going to do them yesterday. And then something happened. And, you know, I just can't do everything. These are all the peppers, and look how close they are. You can't tell one bush from the other. But the thing is, peppers really seem to like that. And they're not bothered by it at all. This is the Culapino. Then we've got another of the Poblanos. That one's not doing much. This one's probably getting all the water. This one's got a lot on it. There's a sore spot. I'll just cut those off. Then I wanted to show the New Mexico chilies because they're finally starting to take on color, and that's when you want to start picking them. Look at this beautiful. Oh, isn't that pretty? I just love the color that they have. They're really gorgeous. So those will get picked today too, probably. And then I'll separate. Look at that, anchos. No, yeah, ancho. There goes the crop duster. It goes over my house about 1 billion times a day. Anyways, there's the ancho chilies. They'll get ground up for chili powder, and they're ready. Here's the little yellow watermelon, and we've picked like 3 of the regular icebox watermelons, and they were so good. So there's something about this dirt that makes them tasty. Here's the what do you call that? It's climbing. This is the loofah. It's just now deciding to do something. I don't think I'm going to get loofahs off of it, but we'll see. Because they're kind of a big squash-looking or cucumber-looking thing. For the cantaloupe, the regular-sized cantaloupe, they're everywhere. If you can see down in there, there's several in there. There's several over here. Look at this one. There's my hand. They're pretty big. So they're going to get big enough to eat. That one's pretty big. That one's hanging from the vine. And it got up over my head, but not really. It didn't do much. This one is the climber this time. And you can't barely see the sun through it. It's really thick. And this is a gourd. It's the gourds on it are all this kind right here, on this one. And they're just for decoration, and I'm not gonna eat them. And then there's this gourd or squash. It was in the gourds though, so I'm guessing it's gourd. And then there are the little mini pumpkin gourds. They're cute too. There's one right there. It's gonna probably stay that color, but then some of them got little orange pumpkins on them. There's some down in there. So those are really cool. Those are I like to decorate with gourds in the fall. So my husband loves it. And then this is the asparagus beans. I'm not eating these. I don't really know why I grew them because they seem, I don't know. Tell me if you've eaten asparagus beans before, but they seem tough. Maybe I'm not picking them. Well, I only got one at a time, so I'm not really picking them. I'm just enjoying the looks of them. There's another Tabasco, and it's turning orange. Here's another New Mexico. It's still green. So I'm starting to see a little bit of color, like this one. This one's got some color on it. That's pretty. They turn all different colors, purple and red, and so I like that. These are jalapenos. These are the Mammoth jalapenos, and they're pretty. They get pretty big. These are not. We've been picking regularly off of this because we eat a lot of jalapenos in this family. Here is a little watermelon. That one won't get big enough. It won't have enough time. But I do have another. I still have one here of the ice box. I think that's all. And this one over here got diseased, so I ripped it out. I didn't want it near the other ones just in case. These are the cantaloupes, and I did pick some of these that were down in here, and they felt like they were getting rotten, but they weren't even ripe yet. So I'm gonna wait on all these to pick them. The cayenne peppers are reddening up. I'm gonna wait till they're all the way red and dry. I'm gonna dry them and then chop them up and make cayenne pepper with them. And we use a lot of pepper flakes too in cooking. The candy cane, it's on its way down, I think. It's finally starting to put some color out into the peppers. I was gonna say, if you are growing candy cane peppers, or if you do, give it some time, because the peppers aren't as tasty. Once they turn colors like this, oh my goodness, they are delicious. So I would say wait on it. And even this that's not enough color. If you get it like this, the taste is so much sweeter and better. More poblanos, more New Mexicos, and then chilies. This is the Eden's Gem melons. Actually, I think I tried one of these too, and it wasn't ready yet either. So those are just going to all wait for the fall. I'm not going to even try them again. Let's go into the cherry tomato variety and the heirlooms. I'm really not sure what the boar's doing, the black and brown boar. This one seems to be getting a little bit of color, but I'm not going to touch it because I touched the biggest one on the bush the other day and it just fell off and it wasn't even ready. So I don't know. Anyways, so I don't really know what color they get or when they're ready. It wasn't ready. I opened it, cut it open, and it didn't look good at all. So here's the chocolate cherry, and I have to say this cherry tomato surpassed all my expectations of it. I don't see a ripe one on here that I can show you, but they are a pale chocolate color, and it's really, here's one. There's one right there. It is really delicious. I mean, they're sweeter and better than the reds, I think. Although my reds were pretty sweet this year too. They're just harder. Those are softer skin, I think. So that's going to be definitely another one that I grow another year. And I just am really enjoying that one. This one is the Paul Robeson. And even through all of its issues, it's got a couple tomatoes on it. Not many, but I'll at least get to taste them and try them and maybe save some seeds. I don't think I saved a bag. I don't think there was enough flowers on this to save seeds, so I may have to buy that plant again next year and try it again. This ground will probably be so good next year, I'm guessing. This is the Purple Heart. I have one tomato on this whole bush. So it's not so good. And it's, boys, it put out a lot of leaves and no fruit. So it just was trying to survive, I'm sure. That's one of the grape tomatoes. Those are doing great. This one's not reddening up yet, so that's good, because that one over there is really reddening up. So we don't really need all that right now. This one is the White Beauty. I do have some tomatoes coming on to this one. There's little bitty ones. It won't make very many, I don't think. There's one right there. It looks kind of like a pear. But maybe, see, these were all deformed a little bit because of this whole dirt thing. So I don't know. And this is Frankenmato. Look at the difference that Frankenmato has made. It went from that, just that little stem right there that looked like cauliflower growing out of the top of it, and it shot up and did all of this. I didn't prune it so that it could put out some flowers, and it's got some really hefty flowers on it. So it's trying so hard to make fruit. I hope I get one tomato off of Frankenmato. This is the green zebra, and I would have liked to gotten, yeah, sad about that. Anyways, this one is the Juliet's, and as you can see, it's got tons of red going on in here, and I've been picking every day, and I just eat those. Those are just fun to eat, so they don't really go inside much. My squashes are on their way down too. The ones that are making are kind of diseased because of all the squash bugs. Look at this plant. Blah. But I didn't want to spray it. And I've got baby squash bugs. I've got grown squash bugs. I mean, we've got squash bugs on top of squash bugs. So I just don't want to spray it. I've tried the homeopathic homemade sprays. No work. That's why that's no work. So just going to let it go. So that's the way it is. Now this is really weird too. These yellow things that I thought were squash ended up being field pumpkins. The deer came through and took a bite out of them just to see if they liked them. And they look like weird right now because they're just yellowish, smooth pumpkins. But they are those gigantic competition pumpkins. And I'll show you. And they came up late, so you can imagine what these would have looked like if they had come up early. Here's the... Look at that. That is about a foot and a half, no, that's about 18 inches long, that pumpkin. And it's heavy. I mean, you're not going to pick it up. Oh, I'm not. And there are some more down in here. I don't see them, but there are more. It has a lot of leaf going on, very little pumpkins, but that's okay because I wasn't really expecting to get any pumpkins off of that. So whatever. We harvested the heirloom corn, and even though it was skinny and small, it tasted better than the Olathe sweet corn that we get. I mean, it was delicious, and I wish I could have shown you some because it was kind of gnarly looking, but that's no indication that the corn is going to be bad. Now this taller corn, that was that little row right there. This taller corn is sweet corn, and it's got corn coming on. It's later, and so I'll pick that later. But it also has these weird growths. Look at this growths that just gross me out. They are like, look at, there's earwigs all in it. They're like fungusy growths. I don't know, it's just sick, and they're black inside. So I'm not really impressed with that too much. I don't like that. Beets are not doing very good. I need to harvest this okra, and I think I have to use I might be able. There we go. Those are that's too long. This is the burgundy okra, and it should be only about that long. When you harvest it, I didn't see it, got away from me. I've been kind of busy. I'll show you why in a minute. There's some more pumpkins coming out. More pumpkins. Oh, there's another field pumpkin rearing its giant head right there. And it goes all along into there. Everything wants to go towards the tomato bushes. Not really sure why. These are the Cherokee purples that I set out to replace those ones because I didn't think they were going to live, and then here they are. They did really good. The onions are gigantic, and there's a nice look. They're everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. So, yeah. If I got the onions out, I might be able to spray them, but the pumpkin's plenty big enough, and we're not going to eat those. We're going to decorate with them. So, I don't know. I'm just going to leave them. I've been pulling out the onions that I thought were ready, and I got a pile of them that are the some little bit smaller ones that haven't really done much, so I went ahead and pulled them out and I'm gonna let them dry. I should probably separate them a little bit, hang them up. I'm gonna let them dry. I got some that are still in the ground that still got green on them that are doing pretty good, so I'm gonna leave those and let them grow a little longer. This is a tomatillo that just came up by itself and it's not doing too bad, so I'm gonna let it go. It's a volunteer. And then there's a pumpkin right here. It's got a dead pumpkin on it and then a nice big pumpkin. Pumpkins! I love me some pumpkins. I love to decorate for fall. And there's my kale. I need to pick it again. I've been picking kale off of it all season, and just those 2 little kale plants was enough to provide me with the kale that I needed for my smoothies. I planted, oh, I see one plant coming up. I planted again spinach. This has not been the year for spinach. And I have one plant right there coming up. Not doing very well. All my celery or lettuce is going to seed. I'm letting it. And I picked and used a lot of lettuce. And there's and I just gave some away. My cabbage is just about ready to harvest. It might even be over ready for all I know. There's my Irish Spring to keep the deer from doing that to it. These are this hill right here is potatoes, and it's the plant of it is gone now. So hopefully there's some potatoes under there. I don't know. I have never done good with potatoes. There's another pumpkin in there that just came up voluntary, and there's another Cherokee purple or carbon. Let's see. If I come back over here, that was my big giant hills of potatoes, and these are about 3 feet tall off the ground, and they're still, I just filled that one and look how tall the plant is already. So I didn't have enough dirt, so I just piled grass on top of it. I'm gonna try and do that again. I don't think it'll make any more tubers than it's got now because it won't have time before I pick them. We'll go over to these garden boxes. Excuse my woolly lawn. I just have been too busy. Okay, so I couldn't find peas. I was really sad. So I went ahead and tried, put beans in. I can see they're getting eaten, and I'm pretty sure it's roly-poly's doing it. And some of them came up, some are still coming up. I see one right here that is getting ready to come up. So some are slow, but they've come up, you know, fairly good. And so maybe we'll get some more beans. The beans over there are doing all right, finally. But they're really sparse this year. I don't know. It's just me. And I replanted cilantro, and I've been watering it every day. And I don't see any coming up. I see a lot of weeds. So, actually somebody said you can eat this, and it's sweet. I've not tried it. I harvested basil. I need to do it again. That's a pumpkin. Beans, see, I need to, but I haven't been getting enough beans for a meal. So I've just been cutting them up and putting them in the dehydrator little by little. So I was kind of hoping I would get enough for at least one meal. Not so much. This is my potatoes, and these are getting ready to die. So I'm going to pull the potatoes out of here. These were voluntary. I have no idea how they got here. So it'll be a surprise what even comes out of here. This one's flowering. It's got cute little flowers on it. And then, look at this. This is my red lettuce. I'm letting it seed. And it comes up voluntary here every year. So there's the ground cherries. And they're just now coming on. They'll probably just have enough time to ripen before it gets too cold. The days have been 100 degrees here every day. And I was painting in that the last few days. That's another reason I didn't had a house to paint, and I was doing exterior, which I said I wasn't going to do anymore, and I don't know, there I was. Thankfully my son Victor did the high ladder work, otherwise we would have not got it done, because I'm not good at that no more. I just don't want to do it, getting too old. Anyways, and then let's see, lavender, my cherries dying. I have no idea what to do with it. I think everything we plant there dies, so it's just not a fertile area. Okay, so that's it for the garden, and everything just looks really spent. It's like, okay, we're at the end. This was our big hurrah, and now we're kind of petering out. But I love the fall garden. I love the way the sun comes in at the angle and makes everything look so cool. So, I mean, fall is just a great time of year. Here's my compost bin. It's down to almost nothing now. It was really high, but my husband's going to mow today and throw some more in there so that I can put it all on the garden, the in ground. And, you know, when I rip out everything in the fall, I will overlay it with the grass and it'll compost in. My composter's got a whole load in it. And it made 2 batches this year. So I kind of stayed on it up until just now because now I'm having everything happening at one time. I didn't get any grapes. The 1 or 2 little clusters that I got, something ate them. I'm guessing it was those chickens. Where are they? I've been locking them in. So they're inside. I keep them in now because they keep eating everything. Then I had to plant a couple patches of grass. As you can see, my grass is like really thin over there. So I planted some grass, which makes no sense for me to do that right now, and I'll show you why in a second. But it's coming up really good. So, and I've planted out like 4 times already and it hasn't come up. I don't know. You know, those things just happen. You can't get too serious about them or get too worried about it. It just is what it is. So there's Ellie Swing. And we're going to have to raise that because she's getting too big for that. Okay, so in to... Hi, Raja. There's Raja, our little Bengal. Come on, Raja. That's my daughter's kitty. Hey, Raja. She wants to come out so bad. Don't you, baby? Yeah. Okay, so here's Puppy, my little rat terrier. She's a jack rat, actually. And she's all hurt right now because she's not getting to go visit. So this is what's been taking up all of my time. Oh my goodness. Hi, puppies. Hi, Bree. Are you being a good mommy? Huh? Are you being a good mama? Let's go in and look at him. She's not protective towards me at all. Are you, sweetie? There's those babies. Oh my goodness, look at them. She's a champion silver party standard poodle. Silver because her hair is turning silver. She's kind of a blue because these spots are kind of blue, but they call her silver. Everybody does, so I call her silver too, but I just love her. She's the best dog ever. And then, okay, so here is one of the puppies. This one is Mesa. We named him the Rocky Mountain litter. Here, I'm gonna turn it around so you can see that face. Oh, look at that face. Hi, baby. Hi, Mesa. And these, the dad was Blue Party. So we're hoping that we get some blue parties, maybe some silver parties. This one is, we're going to keep this one. This one's name is Montrose. And as you can see, it's got some brindling, sabling. That's gorgeous. And she's a tuxedo. See her little jacket that she's got on? And I want that for my breeding stock because we want tuxedo. Oh, what's wrong, buddy? She's a little female. Here's a typical, this is a real typical party. Maybe a little more color than, a little more black than normal. This one's got a kind of a modified tuxedo with a little stripe in it. It's not quite a full tuxedo, but boy, is that a cutie. Cutie, cutie. Let's see, this one green. This is Breckenridge. That one was Aspen. Now it's going to cry. This one's typical party. It's a little more white than black. Well, I don't know. They had a lot of black on them this year. I mean, with this litter. This one is female, Breckenridge. I think she's reserved, or will be, because we had all the girls pretty much were taken. Here's the littlest one. Isn't he so cute? This is Vale. Is this Vale? Purple. Yeah, I think Vale. This one's a typical party. But this one's got a little bit of that sabling in the, oh, can't focus on it. There we go, a little sabling in the color too, but not too much. It's really hard to see. There's little brown undertones. So that one's gonna be beautiful. Let's see, who else do we got? Gray. This one's Pagosa, little girl. She's probably called for too. Look at her, she's gorgeous. Look at that sweet face. And the orange one is Ouray. These are all named towns, mountain towns in Colorado. Let's see, there's Ouray. Hi, Ray. And that's a typical party, very typical. I'm guessing blue and white or silver and white party. This one's a little bit lighter, so I'm sure it's not going to be a black for sure. This one's too light already. Let's see, who else do we got? Purple we got. Sorry, little squirt. Okay, here. Let me see, Bree. Oh, who's that? Okay, there's blue. Blue is Telluride. This is Telly. And this one is a classic, beautiful tuxedo. Really gorgeous tuxedo. Mostly black on top, and then party underneath. Business on top. Is a little male. Male? Let me just check that real quick. Yes, he's a male. And he really is pretty. He's a Breezy. Breezy's being a good mama. I think that's all of them. There were 9. And we thought there was more in there. I mean, she just seemed to have a lot. Red, did Mesa? Yeah, I think I showed you all of them. Anyways, that's what I've been busy doing. Breezy's got to have a bath today because she's still hasn't been cleaned up too much from birthing. But she's doing really well. We didn't get the kennel done outside yet, so she had to have him here in the living room. My living room's a disaster. Yeah, because of that. But I wouldn't trade it. I'm just really enjoying it. So that's what's going on here at on Old Church Road. And give me some ideas on that Hubbard squash. If you guys have some good recipes, that would be awesome, because I have no idea what to do with it. It's just getting too big. Yeah, so until the next time, God bless you and have a great day.